All right. I'm a little nervous. I named my monologue Chicken Nuggets with a side of what the fuck. And I'm really glad my parents aren't here tonight, or this would not have been the same monologue. It was the fall semester of 2003, my sophomore year of high school. I was 15. I was completely and totally head over heels for Josh. Well, at least that's what we were going to call him today. Josh was a tall, lanky stoner with a thick southern accent, black curly hair, and the most ice blue eyes you've ever seen. We had dated, and by dated I mean hooking up in random hiding spots across East Memphis. Off and on since 8th grade. This was back when the regular use of cell phones was still fairly new, and our parents would confiscate them at night to ensure we got some sleep. Still, we would find ways to talk for hours at night, sneaking onto AIM Instant Messenger after our parents went to bed, to coordinate how to pick up the landline before it rang, then sneak back to our rooms with a portable house phone to talk under the covers and whispers till midnight. Josh and I lived a couple miles apart, so in 8th and 9th grade, we would take walks to meet each other in one of our neighborhoods or somewhere halfway in between. Josh and I stayed on top of which houses were on the market and vacant in the area, and would hop fences and rendezvous in the backyards and unlock sunrooms of the nearby homes for sale. That's so creepy. Once there, I'm like reading this out loud. I'm like, you're creepy. Once there, I'd watch Josh smoke his bowl. We'd make small talk. Then we'd spend hours making out and fooling around. I'd have to wear my hair down to cover the hickeys so I could run to my room, start slathering on the foundation and concealer on my neck and chapped mouth and nose, so that my parents wouldn't know that their daughter was a horned-up creep sneaking to people's backyards for gross heavy petting sessions. Side note, how did we make out for so long in our teens? I mean, like so aggressively for so long that your lips and the tip of your nose is actually raw from saliva and rubbing back and forth against adolescent boy facial scruff. Oh my God. I don't get it. It's so extra. It still baffles me. Anyways, by sophomore year, Josh, who was in my grade but a year older, had gotten a car. Well, he didn't have his own car, but he drove his mom's Ford Taurus everywhere. We'd graduated from backyards to back seats, and he would come pick me up when my parents weren't home and go find a random cove or parking lot where we could get down to our face-chapping, spit-swapping party. As most of you probably know from experience, teenagers can only contain and control their raging hormones for so long, and after 2 years of freaky, handsy meetups, it was hard to keep it PG-13. We started getting ballsier. I remember Josh picking me up from my house one day immediately after school. I was still in my IC uniform, and taking me back to his house where we expected his parents and siblings to be gone at work and after-school activities for a few hours. Things were getting heavy when we heard his mom pull into the driveway out front, and I had to run at about 100 miles per hour to get out of the house between the time she pulled in to when she came in the front door. I ran down the stairs, hair crazy, uniform on in various states of backwards and inside out, through the kitchen, out the back door, and climbed and jumped over the back fence into his neighbor's backyard just in time for that random family of 4 with small children to be pulling into their own driveway, staring at me like I was a crazy person. I'm sure wondering what in the hell this deranged teenager in a blue plaid skirt was doing climbing their fenced-in property. I dropped my head, ran through their gate, down their driveway, waving and yelling, sorry, and walked 2 miles back home. Still, that didn't stop us. Nothing can stop teenagers. They're shameless, and telling this story now makes me fear the possibility of one day having one of my own to worry about. With that being said, it wasn't long before we even stopped caring about who was home, and thus, we enter into the meaty filling part of this story, the order of chicken nuggets with a side of what the fuck. After getting kicked out of White Station High School and starting at Ridgeway, Josh's parents made him get an after-school job to cut down on his free time to make trouble between the hours when school let out until they got home from work. He started working at a nearby Chick-fil-A, taking the Taurus from school to work and then home. Sometimes he'd tell his parents he worked late in order to stop by my house for a bit before heading in for the night. I can't tell you the exact date or even the month when I lost my V-card, but I'm pretty sure it was sometime in October. My parents were home, but were fairly laid back. At least they were looking back. At the time, I thought they were the strictest parents in the world. But I now know that I will be even more strict than they and will inevitably earn the title I bestowed upon my own mother as the meanest mother in Memphis. The rule was, she hates it. She's still like, I remember how I'm the meanest mommy in Memphis. The rule was that the boys could come upstairs to the second-story living room / play area, but not into my bedroom, which was also upstairs. My mom would occasionally sneak up to check on us and make sure we were behaving ourselves and on the couch like we were supposed to be. She'd make excuses like, I just wanted to see if y'all were hungry. When what she really meant was, I just wanted to make sure you weren't naked and getting knocked up. Thing was, you could totally time it right to get the action in. Just wait till she came up and fool around for about 10 minutes or so before she came back again. On the V-card night, Mama had just checked on us and gone back downstairs. I knew Josh had had sex before because he had bragged about it in detail to me during one of our off times during our off and on fling. Disclaimer, this was clearly before I'd figured out how to quickly ID a douchebag as a douchebag by this douchey type of behavior. Well, it was me. So when he brought up trying it out for the first time that night, I didn't want to disappoint him and send him running off to Michelle What's-Her-Face again with a flavored gas station condom, and I nervously agreed to give it a go. This is the real details. I don't remember the day, but I remember the details. I was wearing a purple corduroy skirt, which was tricky, with a fitted Curious George t-shirt I bought at Gadzooks. He was still in his Chick-fil-A uniform, yes, and smelled strongly of fried chicken grease. It was like getting down with a life-size nugget. I wriggled out of my skirt with it still around one ankle and his black pleated pants not even all the way down. So hot. After what felt like the scariest 2 minutes of my life, fearing for it that Mom might come up and offer some damn cookies again, we finished and pulled our pants back up. I expected us to cuddle and take in this new step of our relationship. Instead, as he buttoned his pants and adjusted himself, he said totally nonchalantly, "Hey, by the way, we need to talk." Okay. See, there's this girl at my school, Ashley. She plays soccer like you. You'd probably really like her. She's super cool. She's the goalie. Anyway, I really like her, and I'm actually going to start talking to her now. So we're probably going to need to stop seeing each other. I just wanted to let you know. What the fuck? Talk about blindsided. All I could think was, oh, hell no. I know I didn't just give it up to this chicken-smelling, checkered polo wearing, greasy-handed motherfucker with my mom, dad, sister, God, and all the rest of the world downstairs like some wild hussy just for him to break up with me for some other girl just like me. Lord have mercy. Did I have some words for this chicken-slinging son of a bitch? But instead, I just sat there silent, blank-faced, not knowing what to say. He finished up. So anyway, I need to get home. I got a few Quercetin cough and cold pills I'm going to take to see if I can trip. So I'm going to go do that now. Maybe we'll talk later. He got up, walked down the stairs, out the front door, and left in that stupid silver Taurus after our first time for the last time. We never hung out again. I went, sat down at the dining room table, and proceeded to have a lovely dinner with my family as if nothing had happened at all. Teenagers are good at that kind of thing, numbing themselves to painful experiences. It's how we cope with the pains of growth and coming of age. Looking back, I laugh. The sights, the smells, the vividness of the awkwardness, the rhythmless thrusts, it's like a bad first time scene out of American Pie. Growing up is so crazy. God help us all, and God help me with my future children. If I have a daughter, I wish her a more graceful, meaningful experience. But if all else fails, I wish her the ability to look back from the more comfortable position of hindsight and be able to laugh at even the toughest what the fuck moments in life. Thanks for having me.